We are approaching 7 months since the last Red Dead Online update, and over time we've been dropped some clues, hints, and other intel both by Rockstar on what to expect coming in the future, as well as other leaks and data mine discoveries from the community itself. And today we'll be going over everything we know about Rockstar's next major Red Dead Online DLC update. Since all of this information has been curated over the past 7 months, I feel it's appropriate we compile it all into one succinct video and discuss it all in depth. So if you enjoy this video at any point, or if you just find it helpful, let me know by dropping a like on it. And of course, if you want to stay up to date with the latest Red Dead news, updates, leaks, intel, and everything else in between, then consider hitting that subscribe button. Jumping right in, let's talk about the 100% confirmed Rockstar intel first. While it's always possible the specifics of what Rockstar has discussed could be changed, altered, or scrapped, rest assured this has all been mentioned by them in the past and that they are serious about these ideas. I'll leave out the intel from last year until the end of this video just as a refresher, and rather we will focus on all of the information from the release of the Moonshiners update from December 13th, 2019 and onward. On February 5th, 2020, Polygon published an article about their interview with Rockstar Games, and the contents of this article discussed the recent Moonshiners update and also what Rockstar learned from the players about what they liked and didn't like, and their plans moving forward with new content updates and how those will be shaped as time progresses. Tarek Hamad, an associate online producer at Rockstar Games, shared his team's thoughts on new roles and what those new roles mean for players. He was reassuring in saying that of course new styles of gameplay will be added in the future, and he also went into some specifics. There are a lot of additional roles we want to introduce which touch on features we haven't explored yet in Red Dead Online, said Tarek Hamad. We are still very much in the formative stages of delivering an array of roles and gameplay types within those roles. In addition, previously introduced roles are still going to get upgrades and love from the devs. This should probably come as good news to players, as the current roles of Bounty Hunter, Trader, Collector, and even Moonshiner have so much more potential than what's currently tapped into, and I personally am glad the creators also realize this as well. Katie Pika, a lead producer at Rockstar, also has some extra information to share on what to look forward to with the current content and how it's going to evolve further down the line. One of the main sectors Rockstar wants to tinker with is the collector role. We all know how amazing this role is, how useful the Gene Ropke map is at helping us find our collectibles and sell lots of collection sets and accumulating insane amounts of money, and Rockstar wants to explore this role further with new changes. Some players are skeptical, however, and they think this will lead to the collector role being nerfed, although I'm sure if Rockstar really wanted to do that, they would have nerfed it when they introduced the Moonshiners update, because they altered it then. They still have time to nerf it, but I still kinda doubt it. If they were to do anything, I can see them randomizing each item across all 6 of their spawns, so even though the map tracks each item, you'll need to explore all potential spawns to see if it's there, slowing you down a lot from your collector item grind. But let's hear what Katie has to say. She said, "We'd love to keep adding new collections and additional variety to collector gameplay, eventually adding the next step, much in the same way that Moonshiner is the evolution of the Trader," said Pika. "One idea we really want to explore is the idea of posse members each finding a distinctly different part of an item that when brought together forms the collectible you can log in your collection." To me, it doesn't sound too different than what we have now. Instead of collecting multiple items in a set to sell, we get to collect multiple pieces of an item, combine it, and then sell the item. That doesn't sound too much like progression to me, just reskins. But hey, it's not all bad news, as property owners have more to look forward to here as well. Hamad shares new details on properties and even communal spaces players can access, and I think this would be a fantastic addition to the game. I still think official ranches and farms are a little bit too early on. I mean, not really, but just at the pace this game is moving, and especially if a role related to it doesn't accompany the property. However, smaller dwellings or maybe even Saint Denis apartments could totally be in the works. Maybe some backroom businesses too to fit our Moonshiner and Trader routes. Some of the roles would let us introduce feature-rich businesses and even communal spaces that player can gather and meet up socially, lone wolves and full posses, said Hamad. Maybe even let each player own a part of such a space. All of what we've discussed so far is what's been mentioned in the Polygon interview with Rockstar, and the link to this interview can be found in the description of this video below so you can read it at your own convenience. But let's move on to the data mine content, leaks, and other pieces of Red Dead intel that you may be interested in hearing about, as lots of this stuff seems to be pieces of content Rockstar wants to add to the game in the next new Red Dead Online DLC update. So starting off, everyone's favorite, the photography role. TezFun2 mentioned this role multiple times, as has Rockstar in previous interviews with VG247 and IGN dating back to as early as September of 2019. And while we don't have the specifics yet of how it will work, I think we're all hoping it's more fun, engaging, and immersive than just timed missions where we run from point A to point B, take a photo of a plant or an animal, and return to the destination to get paid for taking that said photo. But that's kind of every mission in Red Dead Online right now, so will Rockstar be even more creative? I don't necessarily think so, but what's speculated to release with this role is the Rockstar Editor as well, a cinematic tool in GTA 5 that allows players to make their own machinimas and have more control over their gameplay capture with custom camera angles, effects, depth of field, etc. Think a DSLR camera in the game, and also Adobe Premiere Pro software, but also in the game as well. And it's incredibly advanced and something that's absent from Red Dead for the time being. The community has seen the release of an improved camera and photography system in the story mode, but online's is still quite bare bones. Hopefully all of these facets get improvements, and there is a big audience on Twitter and Instagram for Red Dead Online and even story mode photography, and while it may not be the general player base's cup of tea, I think at the end of the day it will have a place in the game overall. Legendary animals have been discovered in the Red Dead Online MP007 RPF file, which is the term Rockstar uses for updates, Moonshiners being MP006 for Red Dead Online, and what's been discovered have been the following 8 animals. We have the legendary bear, cougar, boar, wolf, legendary beaver, coyote, and the legendary alligator. Rockstar Games insider and enthusiast TezFun2 expects there to be at least 10 coming into the online update, just like in single player, and what that means is the known list is missing half of the total legendary animals in single player, like the legendary buck, elk, pronghorn, moose, panther, ram, Tatanka bison, and the white bison. So maybe what we're seeing here is a matter of 8 legendary animals releasing immediately and the other 8 coming in the drip feed, or it could just be a matter of only 8 to 10 animals coming in total, just like the legendary bounties, where we start off the first week of the drip feed with 1 legendary bounty, and then each subsequent week Rockstar will drop 1 more each time. Now, according to 2 screenshots from Jeff, or 2 Smokin' Barrels as he's known in the community, showing decompiled game code from the Open 4 GTA and Red Dead Redemption single-player modding framework, we see lots of new activities listed as new dynamic events coming in the next update as well. And the new dynamic events you'll come across in the free roam are more of the single-player experiences and interactions Rockstar has said they wanted to push in online, like crashed wagons, slumped hunter, suspension trap, trapped wagon, sick horse, locked safe, and unpaid debt encounters. And the last piece of new content that's been leaked is the new ability cards coming to Red Dead Online. And in fact, we have a total of 4 we can see that are currently not released in game. So when taking a look at the social club for Red Dead Online when you're not currently signed in, and sometimes even briefly when you access the website, you can see a couple of these unreleased ability cards. And the first one on the left, the green recovery ability card, we see an older man surrounded by 2 cherubs. They're wrapping him in a shroud, and his facial expression appears to be somewhat neutral, and judging by how the current recovery abilities work in Red Dead Online at the moment, this card will in some way allow the player to replenish health, stamina, or maybe even Deadeye faster, or be able to gain extra of a specific trait by inducing it on another player. And moving our attention to the second ability card teased in the Rockstar Social Club image, it's a yellow damage ability card that features a man who reminds me of either like the Strange Man or Josiah Trelawney, probably because of the mustache and the top hat. There are no ability cards currently in the game that feature prominent story mode characters as the artwork, and this one most likely isn't the exception, but we have limited data to go off of right now just by what we're seeing on the image. But either way, this man with the top hat is either like melting, his face is dripping off the bottom of the card, or maybe even his head is severed from his body and that's supposed to be dripping blood. But either way, it's a yellow damage ability card. And the 2 ability cards found on the Red Dead Online Social Club website there are still yet to be named, but TezFun2 also has revealed 2 confirmed ability cards as well. And the 2 confirmed names of the known total of 4 right now for ability cards coming to Red Dead Online are the Eternal Flame and a Person of Conviction. The Eternal Flame appears to be a damage card, again signified by the yellow color on the card itself, and the Person of Conviction card very obviously a Deadeye ability card. But that is where we're going to wrap up today's video. We discussed everything we know about Rockstar's next major Red Dead Online update, including intel Rockstar has shared in their official interviews with gaming news websites like VG247, IGN, and Polygon, and we discussed all credible leaks from Rockstar Insider TezFund 2, as well as other community data miners. I would love to get your thoughts and opinions in the comments below regarding all of this, and if anything you think you'll enjoy when it does release in Red Dead Online. Of course, I don't think all of it will quite make the cut in the way we're expecting it to, if at all, but this is everything compiled into one video here for you. Hopefully you all enjoyed the video, and if you did, hopefully I earned your like on it. And of course, if you are new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button to stay up to date with all things Red Dead Online, Red Dead Redemption 2, and even Rockstar games as a whole. We'll be sure to keep you guys up to date with updates, news, information, tips, tricks, and even leaks, and we'll keep you guys updated here on the channel daily, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you guys also want to follow me over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected with me outside of YouTube. I practically live on all three of those websites, and you can feel free to strike up a conversation and even ask me a question. Whatever it may be though, you can follow me at HazardousHDTV, and all of my social media links, including my Discord, can be found in the description down below. With that said, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next Red Dead Online video. Adios, amigos.